Record. Okay. Welcome, everyone, to our Monday morning. Today is January 20th of 2020. So, wow. So, it's 1/20 of 2020. Yeah, pretty cool. Anyways, not much excites me, I think, on Mondays or simple things, I guess you could say. Get me going. But hey, anyways, hope everybody had a great weekend. We had a great weekend here. It's been cold. I mean, sub-zero temperatures, and then we ran out of fuel oil yesterday morning. Fortunately, we have a pellet stove and wood burner, but the wood burner's not working right now, and extra little heater. So it's comfortable in here. I mean, put on an extra shirt or whatnot, but usually we keep it kind of, on the cool side anyways. But it's an old house, but it's well insulated and everything. But anyways, that was our excitement for the weekend. And so we're back. It's Monday. We're getting back to work. We're getting focused. We're getting our one thing that we need to focus on here today. So I hope, like so many other people, what I want to do is we're spending time today in our coffee break. I'm cutting out my coffee. Actually, I don't know if Trish is here or she'll view this. Trish Muhlstein with Little Turtles Swim School. She's part of the Kelsey Code. She lives in Orlando, Florida. She is my life and wellness coach. She's been working with me and doing, a lot of good things. I'm feeling better, more energy. Matter of fact, I'm drinking one of their energy drinks here. So really, it's really brought my blood sugar down. My blood pressure is doing great. And I've lost about 6 pounds, and it'll be, we're be 2 weeks into it, I think, this week, as of tomorrow or Wednesday, I think. And so things are progressing as they should. My skin's clearing up. The biggest thing is I'm sleeping better, and I'm sleeping through the night now. I'm not getting up in the middle of the night. So a lot of really great things. So this is our coffee break, but I'm experimenting because I've noticed with my coffee, because I drink a sugar-free French vanilla creamer. I like that. And I noticed that raises even though I don't have sugar in it, in my coffee or anything, I've noticed that brings my blood sugar up 10, 20 points after 1 cup of coffee. So we're cutting the coffee out. We're drinking our water in the morning to get rehydrated, and now we're having one of the energy drinks. And then after we get done here, we'll go downstairs and we will have the rest of the stuff that we have. Anyways, if you hear our dogs barking, bunch of noise in the background, our fuel oil guy is out here pumping fuel oil into the house, so filling our fuel tank so we can have heat once again in the rest of the house. So anyways, we're spending time today in our coffee break on the corner of vacation water safety. I believe that this is a good time of the year. It's mid-January, January 20th. It's a great time of the year to start having that discussion, having that talk with people, because many people are making their plans for vacations right now. So it's a natural segue into water safety. I've had swim instructors, ISR instructors. One particular instructor contacted me about 2 years ago and indicated to me that, was one of the things what she was indicating to me. I just wanted to check something here. That she had a family that went on a cruise. Wasn't necessarily during vacation season. It was during a Thanksgiving holiday. But they went on a Caribbean cruise, a 7-day Caribbean cruise, and she had I think it was a 1-year-old or a 1.5-year-old. The parent chose not to get the lessons, and so she chose not to take the lessons or do those things. And she wound up, when she got home, she informed the swim instructor that her 2-year-old son had drowned. while on vacation. So I think vacations is a great way to segue into water safety. Most people, I think, take vacations. They're going to someplace where there's most likely going to be water. Um, on the most part, especially if they're families with children. They're going to go to, even if they go to a theme park or anything like that, there's water rides. They're staying in a motel, which most likely has a swimming pool, or a resort that has a swimming pool, um, whether or not it's guarded or lifeguarded. So, from that standpoint, this is, I just think, is a great opportunity. Now, we've been working on our 12 corners, our K corner. It's our new program that we're putting together, and it's called K Corner, the 12 corners of water safety, where your knowledge meets the water. And then it ends with a question: are you ready? Because it's a very comprehensive checklist. It's a very comprehensive program that we're putting together in our water safety drowning prevention coaching program, where we're working with regular families, people, coaching them through a water safety plan, if you will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen here a little bit, and I'm going to give you a glimpse into what it is that we are putting together. So let me find here, just 1 second. Let me pull that up. Let me see if it shows up here. Um, okay. So I'm going to share my desktop so you can see it. So hopefully you are able to see this now, and you see my screen. It should read here, K Corner Water Safety Checklist. As you can see, there's 177 items here. 0 are completed. So when somebody, for example, when they start here with we're on vacation safety, which is number 11 right here. This is what we're going to be talking about. But if somebody completes this whole entire area, when they check this off, okay, puts a line through it, and as you can see here, it shows 1 completed. So they've actually completed this item. Do your homework of what water will you be around when traveling, for example. Once somebody completes everything, then they can check off this right here. But again, these are some basic topics, and I'll just kind of scroll through here real quick before we jump into this to kind of let you know exactly what all's here. I think this, as you can see, this is a pretty some of it kind of duplicates, because, you know, swimming safety, pool safety, open water safety, a lot of that. So you might see some of the same items checked off, but I want to make sure that we hit those items, especially like learning to swim, to make sure that we hit those items and get those checked off so that people understand. So we start off with in-home, number 1, in-home water safety. Then we go into pool safety, where we're talking about pools. We're not just talking about pools and, you know, in-ground pools, but we're talking about above-ground pools, portable pools, you know, those little tiny plastic pools, all kinds of different types of pools. We obviously talk about no flotation devices, for example, puddle jumpers, blow-up water wings of any kind. Child must know how to swim or float, and the parent is to be in the water all times. We mentioned that several times through this checklist. Remove all toys, so on and so forth. We've got doggy doors, above ground pools, portable pools, temporary pools, things like that. And then, of course, no alcohol. Swimming safety, everyone here to swim and be able to, and we have the note here from the AAP. If child is missing, this is a big one, we think. You know, seconds count, check the pool first, rule out the water. Just kind of scroll through. Down here, number 4 is barriers, and it says, I will agree to install multiple layers of protection. We're holding people accountable that they're agreeing to this. Open water safety, again, always swim in designated swimming areas. This is a big one in my interviews. You know, Sean Slevin with Swim Strong Foundation in New York City. They have a lot of accidents in around the Hudson Bay area. Off the edge of New York, okay. Let me repeat that again in case that my audio kind of broke up a little bit. Off in Hudson Bay in New York City, off the edges of, you know, along the coast of New York City, people dump cars, believe it or not, go figure. So a lot of people are jumping in. When they jump into the water there off the rocks or off of, you know, a dock or something like that, they're jumping into water, they can't see the bottom. So they wind up hitting a car or getting stuck in a car. So that becomes a huge problem. Open water safety. This right here, I think, is extremely important. I believe people, this also, we're going to also put this into our vacation safety segment. It's not there, but we're going to add this to it. So I think it's important because when people go onto vacation safety, we're going to make sure that they check off that they review number 5, the open water safety checklist, because in case they are going to open water. So again, this has our flags. These are color code to the flag, as far as the flag systems and the message, and obey the posted signs and the flags at the beaches, for example. So it talks about a yellow flag meaning is a medium hazard, surf and or currents are present. Weak swimmers are discouraged from entering the water. For others, enhanced care. Caution should be exercised. Red flag meaning is high hazard, rough conditions. Red over red flag meaning water is closed to public use. Purple flag, marine pests, jellyfish, stingrays, such things like that. Red over yellow, meaning recommended swimming area with lifeguard supervision. This is a quarter flag, so kind of like a checkered, black and white checkered flag. This flag may be used in pairs, spaced apart, to indicate a designated area of zone along the beach or waterfront. Black ball flag, that's a yellow flag with a black ball in the middle. Watercraft's use is prohibited. Surfboards or other non-powered watercraft is prohibited. Um, um, anyways, orange windsock. Okay, I think most people see these. We usually see these around airports, but offshore winds are present. Inflatables should not be used. How many times do we see that in the news? Where somebody gets, I think there was one off the coast of North Carolina this past summer, and everything else. And then we've got technology, number 6. We've got boating safety in here too. Life jackets. So some of this is back up here also in life jackets. Another big thing is on the life jackets. We have all the different classifications and what they mean, right down to the performance levels and the numbers and what those are, and the sizes and weights for people. CPR and first aid checklist, what should be in your first aid kit, all those type of things. So that brings us down to our corner that we're on, number 11, which is your vacation water safety. I want you to just understand that I think water safety, vacation is a great way to open up a subject about water safety and be able to talk about all these other things, because people, they may have an in-ground pool at home, but maybe they're going to the beach, and so they don't really concern themselves. They think their pool safety guidelines will be good for the beach, and lo and behold, it's not always good for the beach. So do your homework. Okay, big thing. Remember that most, if not all, hotels and swimming pools or apartments, condos that you may be staying in, do not have lifeguards. These are swim at your own risk facilities or places. All cover. In other words, you have covered all the 10 corners of water safety as they apply when on vacation. So again, we're calling attention to all the other 10 corners prior to this. So they know these things, because again, what we have here in Ohio, I go to the coast, or Florida, or to the beaches, totally different situations, because there's currents, there's all kinds of things that could be involved. Alarms that you have that are portable door stops. For example, we were talking about this. So if you look in my little corner, if you remember, I was talking about this pool alarm. This could be packed away. This could go in the wedge of your motel door. Okay, so a child, if they go to open this and it hits that, it sounds an alarm. How many times do we hear stories where somebody gets out of a motel room, goes down a flight of stairs, gets on the elevator? Nicole Hughes' story, for example, she looks over the balcony and she sees her son floating in the water. Obviously, locking the door, putting chains on the door would have prevented that. But if a child was able to get the door open, this is just another extra layer of protection. Remember, one of the agreements that you're agreeing that you will agree to put multiple layers of protection in your facility, or apply those. This is one of the things. This can be packed away in your water safety kit that you're taking on vacation with you. Everything that can be there, any other types of alarms or other things that you can have. Um, take your own personal life jackets for your children to ensure that they fit properly. Okay. Um, how many times have you gone and you might have a really nice life jacket that you spent a lot of money, you have it fits perfectly, then you go to someplace like a canoe livery, or you go to someplace on and you get on a boat, maybe a fishing excursion, and they give you that little orange thing with the little straps. Okay. um, it can be adjusted, but again, depending on the situation you're in, and if you're not sure, go back up to our section here on life jackets. So that would be section number 8, and look at all the different things and information on life jackets, and that might explain to you why you might want to bring your own life jacket. Okay. The then the Sunscreen, make sure you bring your sunscreen first aid kit, pack that away in your water safety drowning prevention vacation kit. Also, go over all water safety information with the entire family. Extremely important. Go over this checklist, have this talk with your family, everything. Understand water safety procedures when traveling on a cruise or travel in or also outside the United States. Okay, many countries, some of which do a much better job at water safety than we do here in our country, but um, but for the most part, many of them do a lousy job about water safety, especially third world countries, depending on where you're going. There's no water safety or no drowning prevention infrastructure, no lifeguards, infrastructure, and lifeguards for that matter. Um, Hotels, hot tubs. I think this is really important because most of us don't have a hot tub. If you do, hopefully you know this information. But if you are, hotel hot tubs are not a place for young children. According to the CDC, children under the age of 5 should not use a hot tub at all. Children older than 5 should be tall enough to stand in the middle of the hot tub with their head completely above the water. Children overheat more quickly than adults, so soaking time should be limited to 5 minutes, for example, if you have your children in the water with you, especially at max temp of 104 degrees. Avoiding full body immersion can avoid overheating, which can lead to racing heart, drowsiness, and unconsciousness, heat stroke, or even death. Teach your child to never put their head underwater in a hot tub, and keep long hair away from drains. As with any body of water, adult supervision is a must. So, and then we just kind of tie this together that, dreams of spending lazy days at the lake, stretched out on the beach, will fill minds of many people this summer. By following these precautions, and those that we set by the facilities and the locations, you can help ensure that your time in the water will be safe and enjoyable. So for an example, this right here, this checklist, using that story I told you about in the beginning, I'm going to come back here. Let me come back. Let's see here. So let me stop my screen share. So should be back at you, hopefully. So anyways, so when we, what was I saying? Yeah. So for example, when we go back to that story that I was just telling you about the person that drowned while on a cruise, that checklist could have potentially avoided that accident. Okay. Just a thought. Okay. Just something to think about. Obviously, I don't know all the particulars of that accident, other than it happened while they were on a cruise. I don't know if they happened while they were in port, went to a beach, happened on the cruise, but we read articles and stories like that all the time. So guys, that is my 12 corners. We're still working on it. It is not ready to go out. Hopefully this week we'll have this, and we will be putting some campaigns. We are going directly to the public with this. And if you would like, we can work with you to help you model this same principle. I think it's extremely comprehensive, and it will open the doors, number one, for content. Each one of these is a separate issue of content. 177 pieces. Probably going to be more than that when it's all done, because I have some other things that I read over the weekend that I want to add to this, especially in open water. For example, I feel it's very important that people understand that, you know, fresh water is not as buoyant as seawater. Seawater being that salt water, that is more buoyant. So people, so when you overeat, things like that, you might find yourself in fresh water. And that's why when we see people take, especially guys, they'll want to swim far out into a lake, they wind up in trouble because again, they panic and fresh water is not as buoyant and they sink very quickly. Whereas in ocean water, it is a little more buoyant, but again, same particular situation can happen. So don't put anything to chance. And so those are some of the things that we're talking about. So, hey guys, really appreciate every one of you and what you're doing. I hope you enjoyed this video here today. Have a great Monday. Email me at rick@thekelsgroup.com if you need any help or assistance or help with anything. Ask yourself, go small today, ask yourself, what is the one thing that you can do today that's going to make a difference? What is the one thing you're going to do? If you're struggling with anything in life or anything what you're going through right now, let me know. I can help you through that process and we can get you refocused on the one thing that you need to do today. And then that will build on the next and the next and the next and the next. Okay. We all love to multitask, but realistically, how many of us can cook dinner and change a baby's diaper at the same time? You might want to try, but I wouldn't advise it. Typically, I don't believe there's really much things as multitasking because you can only do one thing and one thing good at one time. Yes, people can text and drive, but anytime when you start adding more things on top of what we're doing, especially in water safety, it becomes a problem. Okay. That's when accidents happen. And that's why when you look at that checklist, when we try to focus on everything at one time, then we're inviting an accident to happen. So focus on the one thing you need to do and you'll be fine. Okay. Guys are awesome. Have a great day. I've got my energy drink. If you want to know anything about this, let me know. I'll get you hooked up with Trish and we will, because we got to have energy. We got to be out there. Long days, guys. The spring and summer is right around the corner. So we will see y'all later. Have an awesome day and hasta luego. Or no, actually, it should be hasta mañana. See you tomorrow. Okay. Same bat time. All right, guys. I think this is a wrap. Hey, appreciate y'all being here too. Okay, we said goodbye to everybody on Facebook. Now you got me. So, all right. Cheers.